everybody, it's Greg Harrelson here with Century 21, the Harrelson Group. And, I'm sure you know Abe Safa, familiar face right next to me. Abe is my co-host here with Myrtle Beach Real Estate TV. And we're just coming together one more time, one more week to give you some information on what's going on in the local real estate market. Abe, this last 12 months has been amazing as a participant, but even more as an observer. Just 12 months ago, the market's hot as it could be. Next thing you know, interest rates are going up. And then all of a sudden now we're seeing 35% decrease in sales. Prices are not going down like we would think they would when you see that decrease in sales. And now all of a sudden I'm seeing increased showings on my listings, multiple offers this weekend. And I think you even have some numbers that are reversing course that you're going to share today. But what a ride.
Yeah, it's been a ride, Greg. Especially 2 years. This past year has been crazy. We go from extreme high to extreme low. The last 5 months of the year, we're pretty. There was no question about it. We were in a housing recession. The market pretty much hit a wall across the entire country. A handful of markets still stay pretty strong, but for the most part, it got really slow. But we are seeing it reversing. As we've talked about the last couple of episodes. We do see that the market is rebounding from the low.
Yes. Yeah, I want to get into your numbers because you said something to me earlier, and hopefully you're going to talk about it. You said something about we're slipping back to October, which when I say slipping, actually we're moving back towards maybe sales being or pendings being similar to October, but they were worse, so they're getting better. So I want to know about that and share and talk about that. For me, I wanted to just share kind of this weekend and with the audience. So last Thursday, I put three listings on the market last Thursday. So there's three sellers that hired me. And after getting pictures and everything, it just happened to be all on Thursday. We were able to upload all of those to the open market, like the MLS and the online, like Zillow and all the places that we pushed the property. Within 24 hours, I had an offer on all three of them. Different buyers, but 24 hours, each one of them got an independent offer. Two of them got multiple offers. One of them, I think, had 8 showings in like 24 to 30 hours. It was like as soon as it hit, that one that had 8 showings was vacant. So anyone could go in, and it was just showing like crazy. 2 of them sold. 2 out of the 3 sold. Again, multiple offers. Multiple showings, all of them had an offer in the first 24 hours. The next listing I put on, it may not happen exactly like that, but I haven't had that happen at that level for at least for about 9 or 10 months. And it might have even been a year. Are you experiencing anything like that? Just increased showings, just like on your own listings?
Yeah, absolutely, Greg. You're definitely a lot of activity. We were talking about that earlier today. Yeah, so you got a little bit of a flashback of what it was back in last January, right? With these three listings. That was nice to see. Now that's not reflective of the entire market, right? The whole market's not like that, but the market's definitely better. And what you and I were talking about earlier was, it slowed down, as I mentioned earlier, for like 5 months in a row, and it got progressively worse. So the last couple of episodes we talked was like, man, numbers are back to where they were in November, right? As of this morning, I looked at the numbers again, and now they're back to where they were as far as October, right? So every month that we go back, and hopefully next week we talk, or 2 weeks from now, we say, look, now we're back to September levels, right? So what that means is the market's getting better and better progressively. Every single week it's getting better. Now, what's interesting is inventory across the entire country is going down. Right. So this is typically the time of year where we start to see inventory build. So in our market and national levels, there's I think 970,000 homes on the market in the entire country. And if you take out the ones that are under contract, I think there's less than 700,000 homes for sale, period, across the whole country. So these are like really, really low levels. But things, bottom line is things are picking up here. And stuff has been selling, which is the reason that we're seeing inventory go down the way it's been going down.
Yeah. And just for everybody in the audience to know, when we talk about low inventory levels, that's a seller's market. Now, I'm not talking about seller's market based on the average days on the market or how much inventory is currently on the market. But typically, if you hear somebody talking about low inventory levels, then that usually is a conversation that exists in a seller's market, period. Now, one of the things that I always have, that I always try to convey about data, like right now, the data may not show that the market's going up or going down. What it may show is the inventory levels are going down. What I do know is I got increased showings on my listings, and I'm starting to have the conversation about multiple offers. So some people want to wait until the data shows the direction of the market. The challenge is by the time we see the actual data, it's already too late. You've missed the market. And that's why what Abe and I are doing is totally different than what, say, a lot of the economists do. And not that they're wrong. It's just that they have to look at data. The news looks at data. What we're looking at is patterns. We're looking at the activities of buyers and sellers. And when I see that there's increased showings, there's increased traffic on the website, there's more leads being captured, there's more showings being happening, there's pendings are going up, then there's no way for me to say this market's not actually increasing, improving, at least in the eyes of the seller. If you're a buyer, you're probably thinking, well, that's not all good news. You're right. That's not good news for a buyer. This is all good news for a seller. So I just want you to know that, because Abe, I've talked to a lot of people that have said to me, we said this either last week or the week before, that I've had so many people. I had another one say it today. Well, we wanted to sell last year. We didn't, and we're afraid we missed the market. And I'm like, oh no, you did not miss a beat of the market.
Yeah. A lot of the numbers, the numbers you're talking about that typically come out at the end of the month. So most people wait till the end of the month for numbers to come out. Now, the beauty of what you and I do, I mean, I'm having the numbers tracked daily. So I look at the numbers every single morning, and the numbers that I'm looking at is, okay, what's the overall level of inventory? And out of that number, how many of those properties are under contract? So I can clearly see day by day, the number of pendings is increasing every day. And I can show you the chart that I look at. You guys might think it's boring, but I'm a numbers nerd, but you can see day by day, the number of pendings is growing. And now we're at the level where we were back in October. So the numbers do make a difference. Now, the news you might be hearing is inventory increased a lot relative to this point last year. And frankly, it has, right? I mean, just to kind of give you, but you got to hit the whole picture, just to kind of give you perspective. Like right now, by the end of January, inventory was up 77% compared to last year for January when it comes to single family homes in our market. But if you remember, then there was nothing happened. There was nothing on the market. Everything was just selling like crazy. If you go back to 2021 January, we're only up 17% in inventory from 2021. If you go back to 2020 numbers, so pre-COVID, we're down 44% from that level. We go to 2019, we're down 50% from that level. So yes, relative, you take away January of 2022, which was an anomaly, we're down 50% of what we were pre-COVID as far as inventory.
Yeah, that's awesome information. Can I ask you something? And maybe you won't have the answer, but maybe knowing you will. When you say 17% up, can you give me a real number? Like that went from X amount of listings to X amount of listings. Like, what is that actual number? If you know that.
Hold on.
And the reason, for those of you listening, the reason why I asked that is because one of the things also is a lot of times, like let's just say there were 100 listings on the market. There'll be more than that. If there was 100 and it went to 117, it could only be 17 more. That would be a 17% increase. So sometimes the percentage looks bigger than the real number looks like. And so a lot of people, the news likes to put the percentage because the percentage will look really big and it creates a lot of clickbait. It gets excitement. It's almost like a negative thing, right? But when we really look and say, well, how much was that really? it's not as big of a jump as we actually think. That's why we haven't seen a lot of fluctuations. Why we see inventory going up, but prices not coming down, because it's not going up at a pace that would even influence the prices going down. That's kind of what we've been dealing with. Now it's going down. Did you find that, Abe? If you didn't, no big deal. I just wanted to explain that.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. So inventory up 77%. A total number of homes available for sale, single family homes, resales only, not new construction, was 1,214 at the end of January of 2023. So in January of 2022, that number was 684.
Yeah. So
you're
and then
talking
so that
just
looks
under,
like a big
just
number,
under
right?
600 homes.
Yeah, it looks like a big number, but 1,214 isn't nearly enough inventory to support the demand that we have in our market.
No.
So and that's why, even though inventory went up, almost doubled, it actually had literally no impact on our market, because the demand still exceeded the levels that it went up to. Now we're seeing it go back down a little bit. Even I don't know what's going to happen in 6 months. I can tell you right now, I am telling my sellers, I anticipate an extremely good spring leading up to the summer. Any of my clients that we're talking about getting on right now, I'm saying we are going to stretch it. We're going to push for those higher prices, and I'm very confident I can get the job done for them this spring. Now, it might be all year, but we're looking at numbers so much. I try to be careful at predicting too far into the future.
Yeah, I'm in 100% agreement with you on that one. So, and one of the things I want to kind of emphasize is the mortgage rates, right?
Yes.
So we dropped below 6%. We went to 5.99%, and then all of a sudden the jobs numbers came out. That came out very, very strong, and all of a sudden everybody got scared. And mortgage rates jumped up to 6.5. So this all happened in the last week to 10 days, right? So even with that big spike in mortgage rates going up to 6.5, we still had a very strong week. I mean, you had those 3 properties that with two with the multiple offers, so people are still out there. So I was a little bit surprised, because I expected it to kind of slow down these last week or 10 days. Just a small bump in the road, but it actually stayed pretty active. So as the mortgage rates go down, I think it's going to be a busy summer, busy spring. And then if we get into the summertime where it's like, mortgage rates get down to 5% range, I think it's going to be a really good summer as well. But the days on the market has increased. I think we're sitting at about 80 something days, close to 90 days right now on days on the market. So that is still the number overall for the market.
Okay, well, good. I think the underlying message is right now is that there's probably more positive signs in the marketplace right now than negative signs. We have been on one heck of a roller coaster over the last 10 to 12 months. And the good thing is that not a lot of owners have really suffered during this kind of period of time. In other words, prices have kind of held. We did see that days on the market where some sellers were frustrated because their property were taking 60 days instead of 6 days to sell. But even at 60 days, we were able to get really close to the price that they wanted, if not the price that they wanted. So they were still getting what they wanted. It just took a little bit more time than we're accustomed to. We have gotten a little bit spoiled. And as a matter of fact, I think that our expectations for how fast things will sell are a little bit unrealistic as a marketplace. Because sometimes we compare how good things are when they're actually so good. It's kind of abnormal. That hot market was not a normal market. So we should not think that that's, again, always going to be expected. Right now, things are all moving in the right direction. So, Abe, thank you for bringing that information. Remember, if you're thinking about selling, if we can help you, or buying, please reach out to us. Our number, our contact information is right there. We'd love to help you. Thanks a lot, Abe.
Enjoy it, Greg. Thank you all for watching.
Bye-bye.